Do it.
And you good to go.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome. If you are joining our conversation today, you have made the decision that you're not just curious, you're serious about making wealth real. And it's my pleasure and honor to share a roadmap. We literally have the blueprint for how to turn the conversation you just heard into cash flow, and to turn that cash flow into new assets, and to turn those new assets into wealth if you're ready to go. Does that sound like who I'm talking to today?
Absolutely.
I'm
So in
ready.
our conversation, make sure that you grab the link from the chat. If you're looking at this live, we'll drop it in the chat for you now. Well, hopefully somebody other than you will drop it in the chat for you now. And if you're looking at us on replay on YouTube, the link is in the comments. The link is in the comments to lay out how do I take everything that I just heard, break it down into simple steps that anybody can do. And when I say anybody, I mean I. And if I can do it, you can do it. Does that make sense? That do
Yes.
3 things that our business does. We're going to use the membership to help you clean up your cash flow and keep some of the money that was already in your life, but other people were taking from you. The second thing we're going to do is structure a process so that with the new money that comes to you, by telling people about what our membership did for you, you make more money. So that now you have your money and some more money. And we're going to take those 2 streams of cash flow and put them together and make a river so that you have money that flows to you in unending streams. If you've ever heard of the concept of infinite banking. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And the good news is we're going to do that in 30 minutes because I understand that one of our pillars of the Wealth Foundation, there's another conversation about that at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm at 8:04 and I'm going to get started. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
By way of background, I'm Ruth. I was Richard Hardon. I actually ran into the miracle of Make Wealth Real inadvertently 4 years ago. I wasn't looking for it, but God was our friend. I was looking for a way that for all the hard work I was doing, I could have the money not leak out of my life into the hands of people that I didn't know. I was looking for a way to be able to teach people something to do other than just get another degree, get another job, and go back to school. I was praying for something that would allow me to live a meaningful legacy and not just give all the money away to these other people. Did everybody relate to those things?
Mm-hmm.
I was blessed that my brother
Yes.
introduced me to this conversation and to his mentor, Brian Bean, and we've established a roadmap that we used to get to where we are now, but we are going to continue to teach so that other people get there so that we can continue to go further. So if you're ready, say I'm ready.
Ready.
Everybody has
Ready.
a printed copy of the roadmap to making wealth real, make wealth real. And the reason I say it's printed is so that you can write it down. There's a thing in the human brain called the reticular activating system. And it is activated most clearly when you establish a thing that is your personal burning desire, you write it down and you pay attention to it continuously, it starts to bring things into your life that go with what you said you wanted. Now, most people, they don't know what reticular activating system means, hadn't heard of it, hadn't been offered it. But the most common way you see the reticular activating system at work in your life is if you have ever bought a car. If you ever buy a new car, that car looks nice and clean and like the only one like it you've ever seen. And at every intersection, traffic light, and valet booth, there will now be a car that looks just like yours. Those are the same cars that were there before, but now because we have activated our reticulum, it's activated to search out things that are in alignment with what we see.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to making wealth real, that's what we want to do. We want to line up what we see and what we say. So I'm going to jump into the document. I won't be long because this doesn't take a long time to conceive. It's just thinking about beginning with the end in mind. Stephen Covey's famous for a book that he wrote over 30 years ago, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And the first rule is just begin with the end in mind. And my personal end for you, selfishly, let me look at you in your eyes when I say this. Selfishly, I want you to be wealthy in your terms. Now, what that requires is for you to determine what your terms of wealth are. But my terms are wealth, by definition, is when your passive income from both your assets in your portfolio and any other assets you have exceed your cost of living. Once those 2 things have happened, you're wealthy. How many of you would like to be wealthy and be in a place where nobody in your house has to go to work another day in their life again because of something you did? So that's our purpose, that's our mission, that's our vision. So as you jump into the document, you'll notice it is designed in that way. The first thing that we ask is that you understand that our goal is for you to achieve your goals, not just self. And when you get started in business, after the person that invited you sends you the link, you'll have your own link and you need to write it down. This is your electronic cash register. It collects money for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but only if you know where to send people to access it. And I'm not saying to write down your password so that I will know it, but you would not believe how often people don't have access to their money because they couldn't remember their password. So write those 2 things down up front. And then we're going to talk about the rest of the document, how to put that to work. Now, this highlight in the middle, exposures plus edification, with education, experts, minus excuses, minus explanations, and minus emotions is what equals enrollments. And enrollment in the vision is what creates wealth in our movement. Am I making sense so far? Let's talk about exposure and edification quickly. We don't have a lot of time, but we have enough time to talk about the most important thing you can do to raise your paycheck in this income stream. Meaning exposure is simply someone taking a look at what we do from somebody other than you. Oops, I just realized I'm on the wrong microphone, aren't I? Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, you're good.
Microphone, no, I got a better one.
Yes, you're loud and clear.
Second, edification. In our industry of promotion, do you know that promotion is nothing other than edification? Every time that Mike Tyson had a fight, Mike Tyson made millions, yes? But put this in your note.
Don King made billions because of the power of edification. Only in America. Greatest fight in the world. Thriller in Manila. Now, Mike Tyson fights usually last about 1 to 7 minutes. I don't think any of his fights that I paid for the fight party, I saw one whole fight in slow motion. And the slow motion replay was 3 minutes. But because of the job Don King did of edifying and promoting the fight, people paid attention. And that'll be our job in this business. It's just promoting the idea that you deserve to be wealthy. How many of you think you deserve to be wealthy? And if you could just start that process of promoting other people being wealthy, us coming together to create wealth, that's how we make this real. Multiple ways to expose. If you're new, checking out this training for the first time, we have videos that are a way to have an exposure. The videos work better if you edify the video before you send it to someone. Don't just text them and say, look at this video. Hey man, listen, I saw a video. It only took 9 minutes to see it. But those 9 minutes changed my life. How soon can you look at this video if I send it to you right now? We got webinars. We'll have one of the top wealth educators in America breaking down all of the things that you need to create a wealth system. I got a VIP special invitation, one guest only for 7 p.m. Eastern time. If I put you on that Zoom or in that room, I think magic will happen. If I invite you, can you come? It's our edification that adds value to the exposure. So that when people get there, they're ready to see something and be exposed to something new and therefore do something new. Second is education. Once you learn about money, we have to do different things. The worst thing that we can say in our learning journey is, I already know that. You don't know that. Because if you knew it, if you knew it, you'd already be living it. Be open to the idea that we have an ongoing education system. And the more you learn about money, the more there is to learn. And we have a team of experts to teach you how to put money to work for you instead of you working for money. That takes us to our experts. And then making sure that you're subtracting your life, your excuses, your explanations, and your emotions. Not that we're not emotional beings, but put this in your notes. Your feelings and your finances are not friends. Every time you make an emotional buying decision or decide not to do something that is productive because of your emotions, it costs you. So I move on because I know we are pressed for time, but make sure you internalize that equation, put it on your mirror, put it on your dashboard, and then just answer this question. The most important question you could answer relative to this business is this one right here. And let me, oh, I'm on the wrong screen. Let me zoom in to magnify and make sure that we are looking at the same thing. When you zoom in and view, to make my business worthwhile, I'm willing to make it worth, build it to how many dollars per day and per month. Matter of fact, take that time for yourself right now. In order for you to be wealthy, just based on this income stream, I'm not saying that the other things won't grow, but if you had one passive income stream where the money came nonstop, how much would it take to replace your current bills plus 25%? That'll be approximately the cost of your benefits.
Mhm.
You had that number in mind? Write it down. Think is to put it in ink. And a short piece of lead is just much longer than a long memory. But once you know your number, the best thing about this compensation plan is all you have to do is decide how many people you will help to get to that number. Is that good? This is going to take advantage or get over on somebody's business. This is a helping business. If you can't get past the idea of you making all the money and nobody else succeeding, this is probably not the business for you. And then the most powerful fuel you can have for any endeavor is a strong why. I'm building this business because, oh, did you hear me? Yes, that's my Atlanta accent. I know in my mind, the word is because, but because means something different to me. Think about why you got started in the quest for wealth. And I won't tell you what your why is, but this is how you'll know it's yours. Number one, it's got to be bigger than money, way bigger than that number you wrote on the first line. Number two, it's got to be emotional and meaningful to you. We have a business that's very easy to do. It's also very easy not to do. You got it? Bigger than you, bigger than money, and emotional to you, so that you have the fuel to drive you past the resistance that will come in life as soon as you've decided to make wealth real. Because you know it's coming, right? The whole hater parade, as soon as you decide that you're going to make wealth real, they decide that they're going to make jokes about what you're doing. Focus on what your mama needs, on what your babies need, on what your grandmama needs, and not focus on what those other people are saying, you'll get to your goal. Make sense? Once you got those two things, where you're going and why you're doing it, once you got why, the what and how are simple. And we diagram the steps out in order from beginning to end to do all three of the things that Make Wealth Real can do. Now, you have your eventual goal up here. Short term, my goal is this. I want everybody to get started in business with us to be in a position to have a self-funded business by the time it's time for their billing cycle to come around. It's $150 a month to be in business. I want them not only to have recouped their investment, but also to be making at least what it costs to be in business, because a self-funded business stays in business. Make sense? 1 to 2 weeks if you let us. I'll tell you the steps to get there. But the next is getting to $20 a day. That's $600 a month. That's a comfortable $450 a month minimum profit. But at that position, you can earn up to $1,800 per month based on the size of the network we develop by duplicating the steps. But third is getting to that comma club, $1,500 a month. It's $50 a day in leverage passive residual income. That comma club is a differentiator. It's something that in 25 years of network marketing, I didn't know how to build a comma in residual income as quickly and stably as we were able to do here. Does that make sense? How do we do it? Well, step one, the minute that you got started in the system, 1 minute after your enrollment application went through, you also got an email from MWR Financial Global e-wallet to set up your MWR card. Set it up right away. This allows the universe to know where to put the money. If you're planning to make money, make sure that you set up the way that it's going to get paid. And then the next 3 steps are devoted to populating that card your first 2 weeks in business. Meaning, you're going to start a list, a top 20 list of people that you want to share this with the most. These will be the 20 people that you last called on your phone. And you take their name. Now, here's what you got to do. You can't call one person and say they not interested. You got to put all 20 names down on the list and walk them through a process. I'll talk about the process at the end of our conversation, but for now, put their names down here. And as you take the individual steps, mark what happened so that you have an accurate record of the growth of your business. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Now, with those 20 people, we're going to start your first 2 grand openings. First one, really, today is Monday. We should have it Wednesday or Thursday this week. Within 48 hours of your start date, you want to have your grand opening, letting people know it's urgent. I just found out about something. I'm excited about it. And when they asked me to identify the top 20 people I knew, you at the top of the list. Can you get to the house this Thursday? Oh, no? Well, I'm going to set up a Zoom, but you got to see it while it's fresh before everybody else find out. I don't want anybody else to call you before me. Yes? We're having a grand opening. We are about to embark on something that's going to be game changing, and I want you to go with me. Second, your second grand opening, 7 days. So some people you can get for it. You can tell them I'm having something in an hour and they'll be there. Right? Give yourself enough time to invite people 2 days from now, and then everybody else, invite them to the one that they can't make. Put this in your notes. Always have 2 events on your calendar so that you have the power of alternative choices. I'm having something on Thursday for the people that are ready to run, and something a week from Thursday for the people that are ready to walk. But either way, you got to know which way we're going. Which of those times works better for you? Make sense?
Yep.
Questions? I know I'm going fast because I got to get off because they can really start a whole nother conversation to help people use this information. But then the fourth thing, I want you to leverage the nosy people on Facebook that have been trying to get in your business ever since you got on Facebook. Now you can finally let them get in your business. We have a social media strategy. It's a pull campaign where you post a meme, and each of the steps for having people move to action, follow up, and get invited to an exposure. And the surprising thing about your Facebook meme campaign is often the people that end up on that list were not the people that you last called in your top 20. Is that good?
Yep.
And then last but not least, once you got those 4 things in place, those are 5 things that you can start doing to start having this new asset make money. The rest of it is starting to build your story and get your money back. Everybody say, get my money back.
Get my money back.
This allows you to become
Get my money back.
allows you to become a product of the membership. Starting, if you work a job with the instant pay raise, make sure that each of the steps below, you check the box after having done the job, that you uploaded the pay stubs and the tax returns that they need to see if you qualify for a pay raise. Make sure that you start tracking your expenses immediately, ASAP, immediately. Then upload your bills. There are several categories of bills. I won't go into all of them because they are ever expanding, but make sure they get your cable bundle, your internet, your phone bill, cell phone bill, pest control. Now for most municipalities, they cover gas service, anything that they can negotiate for you. Let them go to work and see what they do. I'm always excited to say that my bill negotiators negotiated $1,571 off my bills. That would pay for this membership for 10 months, just that.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Not to mention that they got me that close to $1,300 pay raise. And then they helped me knock out $229,000 in debt by enrolling in and taking advantage of the debt elimination system. And then upload your credit report so we can get all, so that you can be a product of the product, so that by the time you get to your grand opening, somebody will say to you, well, did you use it? What they do for you? And it doesn't matter what you say. All that matters is you've done it. I uploaded my documents. I'm excited to see what results I get, but you can't have my results. Once you've gotten those particulars out of the way, last 2 steps, these are the biggest investments you can make in growing your income, is scheduling your wealth accumulation session consultation with our wealth advisors. Some of the 6 best money conversations I've ever had were with the people that at the time I had no investments with. But over time, I watched my private reserve account get to be my go-to place where it's time to borrow some money. Right? I've watched my land value from land banking acquire another $30,000 in value without me having to go to Home Depot or get the refrigerator fixed. But the most important thing is it keeps me in track on my cash flow. And put this last one down, training. Most important investment you can ever make is an investment in you. The better you get, the better the money gets. Our next major training event as an organization is November. I've forgotten the days. It's a virtual event in November. And corporate will bring in some of the best trainers to talk about our online training strategies, knowing that we're in person, but there are also plenty of things that we can do online and from afar. And then the rest of the roadmap just lays out how you get paid. How many want to quickly know how to get paid?
Yep.
All right, put this in your notes. Double it up. Double it up. Our compensation plan, I want you to know the exact payouts. 3 QFDs. That means 3 people that look at what we do and decide they're number ones and they want to get started with us in business. They pay the $100 upgrade to the $149 membership. When 3 of them get started, that qualifies you for the momentum bonus. Are you with me? So $50 per person and another $150. What's 150 plus 150? It's $300. How much did you invest? $249. So you're already $50 to the good. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Now you add 1 customer to those 3 business partners, and that puts you at the $5 a day daily guarantee. So not only has your business paid you back, it's also paying you forward because it's self-funding. Does that make sense? Now, in our system, this is what I have learned. I'm an engineer by training, and we have a process called redundancy. That means if one system fails, you got a backup system And y'all should thank engineers for over engineering systems, because if the one system fell on that plane, everybody die. And they look at the engineer and say, you didn't have a backup. Same thing for your business. The 3 that get you started might not be the 3 that get you to the top, but if you have 6, you're no longer one person's decision away from not having your business self-funded. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Importantly, you on your own have already got you 50% of the way to $20 a day or $600 a month in business. And that's our second goal anyway. As people get started, make sure you fill in the names in the blanks. But the names that get filled in the blanks will come from the people that go through the process on the back end, meaning we peak, we pass, we present, and then we decide if they are members by taking them through a process. Last note, because I see I'm 8:30 and I know there'll be another Zoom starting in a minute. Let's talk about recruiting as a process. Put that in your notes. I don't have a slide for it today, if that's okay with you. Is everybody okay with me not having a slide?
Oh, yeah.
Recruiting is not an event. It's a process. I used to follow Hardon and Brian Bean and all these guys around and say, what's the one thing that you say that has people getting started with you in business so fast? And what I realized was it wasn't one thing. It was a series of things said in a certain order to have people move to action. So that process is peak, P-I-Q-U-E. Write that down, P-I-Q-U-E. Pass, present, plug, and promote. Peak is the beginning of it. For you that are new, we're going to only work on 2 things today, peaking and passing. Are all of you football fans?
Yes.
This will make it easy if you're a football fan. What's a quarterback's ball? Quarterback's job.
To get rid of the ball quickly.
Quarterback's main job is to pass the ball.
Mm-hmm.
If you say down, set, hut, you get the ball and you hold on to it, it's 5 dudes that have been training their whole lives that are twice your size that are coming to knock the tar. You gotta get the ball out of your hand. Whether you're throwing it, dishing it off to the running back, it's not your job to say set, hut, hut, and then run and catch the ball that you threw. Does that make sense?
Right.
This business, peaking and passing are the same thing. If there was a way that you could improve your cash flow, would that be interesting to you? If there were a way that we could come together and make wealth real, not just for us, but the people that come after us, would that be interesting to you? What are you listening for?
Yes.
I'm intentionally asking questions that are easy to say yes to. And then let people decide after they go through the process. Because what's my job? Because what are they going to ask? Yes, what is it?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I'd love to explain it to you, but I happen to be working with the absolute ambassador of wealth accumulation and cash flow. This young man has done more to help people launch their business and make wealth real than anybody I know. If I put you on the phone with him or in a Zoom, I think magic will happen. So don't let me mess this up. You already know me. You know I don't know about myself. But when you meet Mr. Chuck Hardon, I think it'll be a game changer for all of us. Now, he's going to be doing an online virtual invitation-only event for a handful of key people. I got 2 seats. I can give you one if you want to sit beside me. How'd it come?
Mm-hmm.
It's way different than we got a Zoom at 7. That's edification of the exposure and edification of the expert. The better job we do of edifying the experts, of edifying the information, of edifying the experience, and it's just being different than a regular Zoom from work where everybody not on and their camera not on and they don't even have a picture on, Susan. I play too much, but I'm serious.
My hair not done.
Mine either. You see, this Gandalf eyebrow. No, for real. Great eyebrow. The most disrespectful thing you can ever have. It just come out to the side like, no. But
I hear you.
I'm serious. Just make sure that as they have the experience, as we learn and grow together, that we come out of this on the other side, knowing that we're that one call that they got today that was designed to improve their life, not to take something from them. So with that, I'm at 8:33. I thought I was going to be done crisp at 8:30. Let me pause for any questions on peaking the process or the importance of writing things down on the roadmap. Because I had a birthday last week and somebody pointed out to me that I was on middle age. And so this is what the definition of middle age is. When you get to that age, when you're in the middle of doing something and you forget why you were doing it. What I come down here for? You write it down. When you get back to the paper, where you were is still there. And 10 things on a piece of paper have a much better chance of getting done than 10 things on your mind. All right. That's my time. I'll pause one more time for questions. And other than, I think I'm going downstairs to hold a baby and go to sleep while pretending to watch a football game. All hearts and minds clear. So reminder, tomorrow. Those of you, this is your first training or second training. Training is the key to this industry and this business and to growing as a person. You'll be the same person a year from now, other than the books you read, the people you meet, and the training that you attend and internalize. Tomorrow evening at 8:30 Eastern Time, we'll be having a corporate presentation by MWR Financial Corporate on MWR Financial Live with one of our national leaders, and a training directly after by my brother sponsoring the business, #1 income earner in MWR Financial. That's Brian N. Bean himself. Breaking down to the last compound, how to build you and this business, because the better you get, the better the money gets.
I'm at 8:30. I mean, I'm at 8 too.
You're at 8 also? Oh, it's two
it's-
presentations tomorrow. So we got 8 and 8:30 and training on how to get it done. Can't miss it. All hearts and minds clear?
Hearts and minds are clear.
Peace up. A-Town down.